Well, hello everybody, this is Brent Hall here, Director of Education and Research at ECCE Canada. What I'd like to do in this video is give you a quick overview of some rules and tips for each of the teams in this year's Centres of Excellence App Challenge. First, I'd like to run through very quickly some rules for the challenge that you all need to adhere to as you build your app over the week that you have available to you. The first of these rules is that the app has to be developed using ECCE technology. This is an ECCE competition, hence it's fairly obvious that ECCE technology should be at the centre of the app you build. However, we are prepared to allow you to also integrate open source components within the app that you produce. Second point is that all of the code that you either access and or use and build yourself should be licensed under the GNU public license, and I've included a hyperlink to the website for the GNU public license that you can follow to find out more information about that if you're unfamiliar with it. Third, the code that you build will be placed in a GitHub repository after you've built your app. You need to package the code and send it into Mike Leahy. He will then post it to the GitHub repository, and you'll be able to look not only at your own product but everybody else's when the app challenge is over. Next point is that the code that you write belongs to you. It's important to note this in the sense that ECCE Canada has no right or intellectual property to the code that you build. It's vested in you as the developer, and you should remember that as you go about building your app. The final point on this slide is that there'll be staff available during the week that you're working on building your app. In particular, Mike Leahy will be available to you, Michael Lubert, mlubert at esri.ca. Jonathan Van Dusen is also available. In fact, Jonathan was a member of the App Challenge winning team 2 years ago when he was a student at the University of Waterloo. So he'll be able to give you advice about building the app as well as any technical needs that you have. And finally, Krista Amelins will also be available. All four of these people are higher ed support staff here in the Education and Research Group at ECCE. Now, I'd just like also to give you several points that you should be aware of. These are really tips to get you going as quickly and efficiently as you can. You should meet once before the app challenge starts, at least once in fact, and I would suggest that you review the video that we're recording at the moment, plus all of the other videos that Mike is going to be putting together. Get together and then go through the following notes that I have on the screen. In this initial meetup that you have, or a series of meetups with your team members, you need to assign roles to team members. Assuming there are 4 people per group, one should be a coder. This would be a person clearly who has an interest in coding and has skills in that area of app development. There should be a UI designer so that the app you build can be appealing and easy to use for the end user. You need to have a data finder or data manager who can go off and source the open source data that you will use for the prototype for your app. And then importantly, you also need to have a person who will put together the app and its use in a video that will get uploaded to the GitHub website and reviewed by the judges when they're running through the apps to make their decision as to the winner. You should also set some deadlines for developing your workflow as you go about building the app. It's important to have deadlines established and to stick to these deadlines so you don't arrive at a crisis point near the end of the week. Make sure that you stick to deadlines once you set them. And finally, in these sub-bullets, decide on a development platform, and I'm going to have a word to say about those in a second. Once you decide on a development platform, stick with that decision. And if you follow the other points I've noted here, you should be able to produce a good app at the end of the week. Now really there are 4 options open to you in terms of development platform. The first of these is ArcGIS Server and the JavaScript API version 4.0. If you choose to work on that platform, One of the people in the group needs to be a good JavaScript coder, and somebody needs to have familiarity of ArcGIS Server as well as access to a machine that ArcGIS Server is installed on. The second option was by far and away the most popular during last year's App Challenge contest among the teams. That's Web App Builder. And there are two versions of this. You can use the out-of-the-box version, which is really just a matter of configuration and adding and configuring widgets for the app. The second is using the developer edition of the Web App Builder, and for this you again need somebody who has skills in JavaScript coding. Third option is developing using an ArcGIS Online template. You can do this out of the box as well, or you can download a code package and customize a story map. Last year's winning submission from the Nova Scotia College of Geographic Sciences, which was called Solar Saver, actually used a story map template and integrated within that story map template other customized story maps that they'd downloaded the code package for and done some work on, as well as a native JavaScript tool that was built into the story map as well. And finally, we have App Studio for mobile applications. This comes in two flavors also, basic or standard. The former allows you to do just configuration, and the latter allows you to do much more in the way of customization. So finally, I'd just like to also remind you that not only will your contribution go onto the GitHub node, but the apps that were submitted in 2015 and 2016 are also there. So it's a good idea for you to hop onto GitHub, go to that node, look at the apps that were submitted in previous competitions. The winner in 2015 was an app that analyzed travel times for the light rapid transit system in Waterloo, and as I mentioned, Solar Saver was the winner from the 2016 competition last year. So check these out, have a look at them, and that really sets the benchmark for you this year in terms of what you develop. Final point is to make sure you review all of the videos that will be available to you on the ECCE YouTube channel, and we will have a video on each of the development environments I just noted. And lastly, good luck. It's great to have you people participating in the competition this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your apps as you develop them. Thanks for your attention, and all the best.